Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at something so simple, yet it works so well. This is the FlameNest waterproof lighter case. And let me tell you, this one is a winner and very affordable. Let's check it out. All right, folks, welcome back. Now, I know most people think of more exotic ways of starting a fire when they start a fire kit, but I gotta be honest with you, my first go-to is always a Bic lighter, and I always have a Bic lighter inside my fire kit. It just makes sense. Of course, we want the other ways. We want to be practiced in the other ways of starting a fire, but having the easiest and most simple and most common sense way of starting a fire kind of makes sense. It's fun to play with fire rods and flint and steel and all that, and even friction fires, but when you're in a hurry, in an emergency, you want the fastest way of starting a fire. And this will beat anything out there, pretty much. So, all in all, I really do like having a lighter with me, but my problem has always been what happens when it gets wet. Now, where I am now in the desert isn't as bad as where I was in California. Previously, I lived in Monterey area, actually Seaside, if you guys are wondering. And, it was always foggy, kind of damp out. And if you had a lighter out in the grass or something, eventually it would get wet and wouldn't work. Biggest problem I had was up in the wheel here with the flint. There'd get water in there and you'd have to wait for it to dry out. Now, not a big deal when you're just trying to light something, to practice a skill or something, but pretty big deal when it's a life or death situation. So I've been looking around for a while for a way to waterproof my lighter, and there really wasn't anything on the market that actually looked like it would work or was affordable. Exotac has something, but it did seem kind of pricey. So pretty much a plastic snack bag is where my lighter lived for a very long time. I would just stick it in a little Ziploc bag, zip it up. Problem was when it got cold, the plastic would crack or it would just start to leak or it would get brittle. The zippers would blow out on it after a while. So it really wasn't a permanent solution. So this thing absolutely does what it says it will do. And we're going to show you it and test it in a second. I'm going to show you what it looks like on a lighter first before we take one out and look at it. And that's what it'll look like on your lighter. Okay. So if you drop this thing in water now, or if you're in a muddy or wet environment, this isn't going to get wet. Now the way to take it off, you're just going to pull up on it like that, and there you go. What I like about it is it's got these two little rolls here. They kind of match up with the ones inside here. So when you're putting this on, snaps down over them. So you have like a double layer of protection. Another neat feature about this is it keeps the gas from turning itself on. Very, very handy. Being that we store these in a fire kit, you can imagine storing something like this in a fire kit and something pushing against it, leaking all the gas out. And at that very moment, your ferro rod and a striker hit, and boom, you got a little explosion inside your gear bag or your bug out bag or whatever. Not cool, especially if it's near something like isobutane canister or whatever. So safety-wise, I like the fact that it does block it. Now I'll give you a little everyday carry thing with me. When I need a lighter, one of the biggest problems was these would always kind of weasel their way down to the bottom of your bag and get stuck. This will actually keep it from doing that. I find that the rubber kind of rubs up against the side of a bag and won't let it slip its way down. So you can always find your lighter. So that's kind of handy too if you aren't necessarily as organized in your everyday carry. You just kind of throw it in a bag every day. When you need it, you'll be able to find it because it'll be right on top. A regular lighter like this will tend to just kind of slide down in there. So first off the bat, what do these cost? Well, $6, $5.99. Really can't beat it. There's nothing on the market that's cheaper than that that'll actually work. Of course, there's probably some kind of way you can do it yourself, but these are really impressive. Now, a little word about these. These actually came from a person who watches the channel, and I thought it was really cool. They sent me an email saying that they would be over the moon if I could, showcase their product on my channel, and I was like, heck, I'll do that. And just as a side note, if you guys out there have any kind of products that you're working on, maybe you sell on Etsy, maybe you want a little more publicity out there, do let me know. Feel free to send it along. I can give you a shout out and we can test it on the channel. That's perfectly fine. So I thought this was kind of cool that it is somebody that watches the channel and this is their product and they do sell it on Amazon. So let me show you how you put this on. You're going to take this and just slide it on the base. Now, I did use a little bit of, actually Hoppy's number 9. I wanted to get that label off there. So this might slide on a little bit more difficult than usual. And probably, I was trying to do it from the bottom, probably the best way to do this, I forgot when I did this, is to do it down from the top like that. And you can just pull it down to a level that you're comfortable with. Okay? I like to leave about that much over there. And remember, when you're closing this up, you're going to want to keep your thumb here, because if you push down too hard on this, eventually it'll push it all the way down the lighter. So there's the top. You can see it's all ready to go. Pop it together, pop it in there, and there you go. You're all set. Real easy to do, and as you can see, it went down a little bit, so push it back up again. No big deal, not the end of the world, but definitely a secure fit on there. And it is very simple to pop right off the top. So when you need it, it's right there. I think maybe a suggestion for future, maybe version 2.0, would be some kind of tether between this and this, because I could see myself in an emergency situation taking that off, throwing it down, lighting my fire, and uh-oh, where'd the lid go? And actually it rolled underneath my table all the way down there. So I could definitely see that happening. So I prefer that maybe there be some kind of little attachment. But heck, this thing is awesome just the way it is. It shows you the instructions here, okay? It will protect your lighter from lint, dirt, and debris, prevents the gas button from being pushed down in your pocket. I don't know that if you use your lighter, let's say you're a heavy smoker or you use your lighter every 5 minutes or whatever, I don't know that this would be handy, because every time you go to use it, you got to pull it off, put it back on, pull it off, put it back on. You know, it'd kind of be a pain in the neck, but for what we use them for prepping and survival in our fire kits, these things are awesome. So what we're going to do with this today, after I pick up that other top there, is I got me a glass jar of water. And I'm going to drop this in here. We're going to leave it in here for 30 minutes. I did bring out my phone to show you. It's 8:41 a.m. this morning. And by the way, Happy New Year, folks. We'll hopefully have a good year going into next year. We're going to drop this in here. I'm going to give it about 30 minutes. See how it does. Because it says it will hold up to 30 minutes of water in 3 feet of water. So there we go. It's in there. It's sealed up. So let's see, 40. At around 9:11 or 9:10, we will come back and see how that held up, and did it hold up in there. Now I don't see any bubbles or anything, so I'm getting a good feeling about it. Looks like it's gonna stay in there good. And I swear this jar is leaking, although it's not. It can't be. It's glass. Leaking from the top, maybe. Anyway, let's see it back in a half an hour and see what it does. All right, we are back. It is 9:10, so it's 29 minutes. Now, the most important thing when you're doing this is to make sure your hands are dry after you pick it up out of there. Because if your thumb is wet when you go to use that wheel, you're just going to make more of a mess, and you're going to end up ruining it. So here we go. Okay, it's out of there. I'm going to just dry it off good enough so that I don't get my hands wet. Pop this off. There we go. Make sure my thumb is dry. And there you go. Works perfectly. Not any water got in there. A little bit from my hand right there. Nothing on the inside here. I would say that's a successful test. Works very, very well. Definitely pleased with it. And they're very, very inexpensive. I mean, you can buy a bunch of these. They're $5.99 each. You can put them on your lighters and your kits. Definitely a good way to keep yourself from having a problem and running out there and not having a way to light your stuff. So I really do like them. I think they work well. And I got to say, for the price and what they are, they work pretty darn good. I can't complain. So they are, again, $5.99. They're really built to last. I mean, and the best part about this is if your lighter dies, you just take this off and put it on your next lighter. They're built to last for a lifetime almost. Probably over time, yes, they'll wear down, but for the most part, these are pretty well made. Really quickly, product dimensions on it, 2.5 inches long by 1 inch wide by 1 inch thick. Essentially, a little bit thicker than your lighter. It does make your lighter a little bulkier, so you may not like this for pocket carry, but definitely for taking this with you, sticking it in your fire kit, you can't beat that. You really can't. So that is the FlameNest waterproof lighter case. I will put a link down below where you can pick it up. They are in my Amazon store as well if you're interested. And don't forget to check out the Amazon store down below there. Even if you're not interested in buying what's in the store, just click the links and shop as you normally would. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it really helps support our channel. And don't forget our freeze-dried wholesaler link. That is freeze-dried wholesalers down below. You'll save 15% by clicking that link, and he has a huge variety of freeze-dried food. Definitely awesome for food storage. Put it away, 25 years later, it's still good to go. And with the way things are going, inflation, prices, shortages, definitely time to get stocked up. Below that is my other favorite food company, and that is My Patriot Supply. That's preparewithiridium.com. We have some amazing deals on there. I think we have some new stuff coming for the new year, but today's the last day to get on that $250 off on your 3-month kit, as well as the $50 off on your 4-week kit. There's a bunch of other stuff. Just click one of the food links. You'll see all the rest of the items. There's survival gear on there and everything. It's preparewithiridium.com. Below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Don't forget to check that out as well. And I thank you for watching, and a definite thumbs up to this product. Stay safe and stay prepared.